Good sunny afternoon from England, diecast friends, enthusiasts, and this show is dedicated to them race crazy Hot Wheels boys based out of New Zealand. Stunning country, would love to visit it one day. And if you don't believe me, just watch Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and that. I mean, it's a wild and wacky place. They've got orcs, elves, trolls, dwarfs, running all over the place, or at least that's what I saw in the movie, so it must be true. But anyway, Hot Wheels boys asked, can I do a case of exotics? And the answer to that is yeah, of course I can. So we're going to get into that. So please check out the Hot Wheels boys channel. They love the racing, and they have some fantastic cars on show and going around the track as well. So please check out Hot Wheels boys. So before we just get into the exotics, just a couple of little pieces. There we go. That was the mystery model that Fireman Food 1988 sent me. The one with all the crazy tampos on. And I've got rid of the tampos. As you can see, there's no detriment to the paint. And I've put a new set of wheels on there as well. So again, my only problem with the car was all the paintwork was supposed to be simulated scratched up and that, but it looked not the best. Not the best. You can see it's just a mainline look, you know, no detail back and front. That'd be the easiest thing to put some detail on that lot. But yeah. So yeah, just a sympathetic re-wheel and tampo removal. And, you know, when this is on my display case in the wall, it looks fantastic. So I'm really happy with that. Again, give it a try. But here's a cautionary tale. Because I was doing a custom job for my good friend at Diecast Dungeon, Chris. And I know some people use this stuff. And the magic ingredient is acetate. No, that's not my hand. But yeah, so I used this and cotton buds. And also a little bit of cotton wool. I couldn't have been any more gentler with it. And indeed, it does remove the tampos. Unfortunately for me, it also removes the paint with consummate ease. So there's a cautionary tale there, folks. If you think you're going to go down the nail polish remover, then there's a cautionary tale. This project's got to be scrapped now. Well, it's not scrapped. It's going to morph into something different. But there you go. You can clearly see it's removed the paint. It's removed the undercoat. It's removed everything through to bare metal. Both there and there. And I thought, what the hell's disappearing in front of me? So yeah, if you're going to go down the nail polish remover, please be very, very careful. It is so aggressive. So even more, I now favour the dry erase marker. You can go at it like a bat out of hell, and you can't really do any damage. And also the other little thing is, Johnny Roman from the Toy Car Case, check his latest video out. He got back out to the flea markets and picked up a bag of some stuff. And notable highlights was the M2 auto lift with a nice truck on the bottom and car on the top. But he did actually pick up a piece that was a Husky toy. Lovely van, full waking doors, person inside the cab. I can see its appeal, but unfortunately, the skylight plastic was absolutely smashed in. And so, Johnny, if you want to do a quick and easy repair on that, and this is a tip for everybody as well, because we just take these things for granted and never look. There we go. We all know what that is, don't we? It's just a common old garden blister pack. This one happened to have a new Ducati motorbike in I picked up the other day. But if you look at the shape of it, or even this, there's a ready-made skylight there, Johnny. So if you took the time, cut this out and super glued it to the underside of the roof. And so never chuck these things away. Keep a few. They all come in different shapes and sizes, we know that. But if you just keep a few in a spares bin, you know, you can even cut these to shape, to a template, and absolutely put some new glass on the inside of your cars and vans and wagons that have been broken, cracked, or some of the resto guys, they scuff up so bad, and it doesn't matter how much rubbing compound you use and Pledge Revive floor polish. So if you're into that sort of thing, keep a few of these and you'll see the shapes pop out in your head. Or at least you think, well, that's a big piece. I can, you know, I can mould that. A little bit of heat from a hairdryer will actually help it to conform for a real nice custom job. So never overlook your rubbish. Okay, that said, let's do some cars. So, as I said, the Hot Wheels boys wanted a case of exotics. And again, I knew I had plenty. But I've learnt something as well, because I've heard the term exotic, and it's not a British term, it's more an American, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I didn't know really what qualified for an exotic. I know things like Lamborghinis and Ferraris and, you know, such like, but I really asked the question. I said, well, yeah, I'll do it, but can you tell me what you class as an exotic? Is a Porsche an exotic? Initially, I got a no, and then when we looked into it, yes, a Porsche is an exotic. I think it's anything that looks sleek and high-powered and probably costs more than my house. Anyway, so let's start off with some bigger castings on the bottom, and I don't know whether any of you outside UK, Europe have seen this, and having said that, does anybody own it? Okay, I'll just get a look around the car. Got the Hot Wheels lace wheels there. A lot of glass. We've got a little light detail on the front there. But it's a nice shape. There we go. We've got some light detail on the back there. And we've got that badge there, VW. Would you associate them with exotics? Not usually, but I say that shape, you think, well, that is exotic. So let's see what it is. And this, if I can get it into focus, is a VW W12 concept car. I doubt you'll be able to pick that up at white on white. But there we go. Yeah, VW W12 concept car. High powered. I believe it was meant to break the American market. Don't know if they ended up releasing it. But it's a nice shape. It's a nice shape. And let's say, I don't know who will have seen that, but if they ain't seen it, who actually owns it as well? So here's another version of the same car. Same sort of detail on the front. Extra detail on the back. Lights within lights. Some nice, well, four exhaust pipes picked out there. But the difference is, look at the top. Look at the top. Look at that. Twin port engine there. Well, 4 exhausts. It's definitely a V something, isn't it? I would suggest maybe a V8, maybe a V12. But if this doesn't qualify as an exotic, then I don't know what does. Both second-hand pieces, a little playway with it there. But isn't that something different? So moving on, we'll go to familiar ground, and you can't talk exotic surely, at least not in Europe, without talking Bugatti Chiron, Bugatti Aileron. We've all seen the black and blue edition. I'm not going to dwell on this one, there's no point. You get the badge on the front and not much else. Oh, some nice grills there, to be fair, and nothing really on the back. So that's piece 3. Piece 4. Now, this is a little bit of a different make. Again, some of you are becoming familiar with it. And really, you should never really overlook them because the castings are great. Oh dear me, what can I say about them for the price? Very, very cheap, but very well detailed. What we got here. We'll just go, this one's for you. We're just going to Dyson Vision there now. It is actually a real thing now. You used to get Panavision on the old movies. Well, now you're getting Dyson Vision. And this is extreme close-ups. Little Aston Martin badge. Some light detail. Some venting detail. Nice cockpit. Nice wheels. You know how much re-wheeling I do. Well, I can't complain about them because they're factual. Nice detail on the back. And this is a welly toy. And that, in my country, will have cost me about £1.25. In the States, I'd guess you're looking at about 85, 90 cents. But just look at it. Look how that paint shines. Look at the detail. It's wholly accurate. The scale feels right. I'm a real big advocate of welly toy, and I know a lot of people that are getting turned onto them now. I mean, it's a fairly thrifty hobby to be involved in. But I mean, when I go to, say, our version of flea markets, car boot sales, I can pick up 5 wellies for £1, no bother. So it just shows you, it's all in the eye of the holder. It's all in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, that's right. That's what I meant to say. And so, yeah, we'll move on. So, exotic, and we're talking Mclaren 720S. There we go. That was a bit of a funny colour to show off, metallic purple. Lovely cabinet work there. And lovely detail on the rear engine. That is mid-engine, I think they call that. Rear brake lights picked out in the glass. Wheels. Yeah, they're alright. We got some details on the front there. This is a nice car again. McLaren, a great British make. Racing pedigree. That shape would fit anywhere in the world. If we was talking Lamborghini now, or Ferrari, some sort of concept, people would be salivating over that. But yeah, lovely McLaren. Okay, moving on. And I think this one's another welly toy. I'll just check the base. It is another welly toy. I've sent this one out to a few of my friends in America and they'll all love it. And that's a Lamborghini Aventador. Again, the wheels. You know, what do you want? What do you want for such a price? Look, the badge and the detail on the front again. Great cabinetry inside. Rear engine this time with louvers. Very little rear detail on, but you get the suggestion. But again, for something that would retail in America for about 85, 90 cents, maybe as dear as $1. And who said that? I'd buy that for $1. Yeah. So that's another welly and a Lamborghini. So, moving on. And this is, I do believe, maybe another welly or an RMZ. Right. It's an RMZ, so this is even cheaper than welly. Don't worry, they're catching up. And this is an Audi R8 V10. Again, look at this. This is picked out. You know, the wheels are good. The casting looks right and accurate. It really does. There's the Audi badge, clearly defined there. And all this gubbins that comes with a beautiful Audi. Absolute monstrous, thunderous machine, beautiful shape. And that's RMZ City. Yeah. Again, we've already got 7 cars in there, and you know what I'm going to say, Mix 67. They just go with it. It just works. It just works. We're talking British classic again, Lotus Esprit. If it'll be so kind as to focus, and there we go. Again, this is a casting. We know well enough, you can see just Esprit on the rear quarter there. License plate details, a full indicator, night light, reversing lights. Good God, you even get a license plate there. And as a main line, look at that wedge. For $1, for a £1.20, what do you want? You know, so it's all in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? I'm not a die-cast snob. I'm not a money snob, and that. And it's just, to me, it's like, you know what you like. You know what you like. You know, you see something out and you think, you know, I'm not really sure what that is, but it's just caught my imagination a little bit. So we'll keep on with the British classics now in the exotic mould, if you like. And this is the Mclaren 720S again, but this time this is a Hot Wheels version. Now this doesn't look as accurate to me as the Wellies or the RMZ. It's a lovely casting. I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't. Again, rear engine in there, picked out, nice singular wiper blade just there. A little detail, but that's in the casting. It's not being picked out with anything. And we've got some tampoed lights there and a little bit of bonnet detail. It's a good honest casting. Yeah. Dyson Vision. Dyson Vision. Are you enjoying the fun, Mike? It won't be me, I guarantee you. I'm sure you'll hear that off other people. So, there you go. So we're going to another typical exotic car. This one's got some nice gold trim on it. And we've got another Lamborghini Aventador. Obviously, I don't need to tell you from the design of them wheels that this is an Hot Wheels. I don't mind them wheels, actually. Some they just about go you can get away with. But again, rear engine detail, nice cabinetry inside. Cockpit, if you like. Badge and lights on the hood. Again, this is a main line. Nice gold flashings around the sills. Not much detail on the back other than plastic picked out grills. Lambo, it fits the mandate 100%, doesn't it? This is where I think I'm going to get a howl of derision, to be honest with you. Initially, when I was looking at this through to pick exotics, I thought, well, is that a bit of a souped up Viper or a Mercedes AMG? All good candidates. This is actually a Panas, and it's not one that's known to me, really. I collected it because I thought it was a Viper. I picked it up from a flea market. But this is the Panas GTR1. You can just see it there, look. I don't know nothing about it. I'm sure some of my wonderfully knowledge subscribers will put me in the picture. But, yeah, I mean, you know, you've seen it that. Would you be fooled that that was not a Viper? I certainly was. I certainly was. And so here's another little something that is it exotic. Like the Panas, it was something that I'd not really heard of, and somehow this has come into my possession. Another Hot Wheels, and this is the Scion FRS. Scion sound like a Japanese company to me. I know it's SCION, Scion. I don't care for the racing tempos on this one much. I think this one, I'm okay with the wheels. Let's get it in the focus, so we know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think I'd keep the wheels just about, but the tempos, I think they've got to go. It's not on the top of my priority list, but I look at it and I think, yeah, it's a bit ugly. It could be so much more than it is. Now I'm looking at it in the case, maybe it does need some wheels. So we'll do 4 in a row. I'm not even going to say nothing about these. You know what these are. Lovely white complementary lace wheels. I like that, number 34. Porsche. This one's the 934. 0.5 there. I don't know what the 0.5 stands for. But in it a beautiful classic. That spoiler there, giving it some downward traction on the rear wheels. Yeah, it's a nice piece. It's a nice piece. It certainly makes me happy. I'm a Porsche guy. I've got a few. I like them. I like them. And so here's the second one. Again, nice trim on the wheel edges there. Little bit of funkiness going on in the centre caps. This looks like the Tiger to me. Beautiful rear engine, that spoiler. Oh, get a badge with this one and headlight details picked out. Again, it's one of these. Nothing much on the back. There's a bit of a black edge that's faded out. I might touch that up with a simple Sharpie, black Sharpie. That'd define that again. But that is one of the most instantly recognisable and evocative shapes in the world. No matter where you are, that has got to be instantaneously recognisable. So we'll stay on that theme. Same car. Number 17 race livery. Go faster stripes. Similar sort of wheels. A little bit busy, but do I like that? Yeah, I do. I don't think I'd ever change this one. Again, the same sort of details there. Nice Hot Wheels. And we'll go for 4 in a row. And we all know this one. Beautiful. Magnus Walker, the Urban Outlaw. 277. Decent wheels. And there's the Urban Outlaw symbol on the top. Popular designer. And there's a lot of pieces out there with his moniker on, and the Urban Outlaw, it seems to be popular. And I can see why. That is a cool Porsche. This one, let me see, get it right way up. Yeah, the classic Porsche 911. I do believe that has a spoiler that comes out the back like, what's the baby Porsche called? The Boxster. That's got one that comes up and down. So we're going to 2 of my favourite brands, but before we do that, we'll do the typical pull up to the top. Last 2 rows. I think we got about there. Amg Mercedes. My golly. We're talking 200 mile an hour here. Just about. Again, I might re-wheel this one. I quite like the Hot Wheels logo for a change. I think they've got the casting spot on. It all looks in proportion. Again, is it a bit of a Viper? I think the Viper and the AMG and this one might have nicked some styling details, but hey, who wouldn't like to be? I mean, look at the detail on the front there. My goodness. Who wouldn't like to be sat in the back of one of them, in the front of one of them, flooring it? I know I would. So we'll go for a second variation on the AMG make. Oh, somebody asked me about that the other day as well. It's like the British are probably world's worst nation for giving things nicknames. But believe me when I tell you, it's a term of endearment. If you haven't got a nickname, nobody likes you. And I think it's probably the same with the Australians and the New Zealanders. So Mercedes is known as a make over here. I know it's something different in the States. We have a Porsche. They're called the Porker. Old classic Morris 1000. That's a Moggy 1000. And so on, you know. So you sort of understand where I sometimes let these terms out and people go, what the hell's he on about? Now you know. So we're back to the Mclaren again. This is the beautiful Senna, of which I've seen a few variations in colours. I would like some. I've got the grey, but I haven't got anything else. Nice details on the back picked out. Again, a good, honest main line, and I can see why people went mad over these. Yeah. What more do I need to say about that one? It's something that most of you exotic collectors have got now. So I shall not dwell on that. And then we're back onto the Mclaren again. Slightly different this one. This is the P1. Might benefit from a wheel change. Again, nice casting from Hot Wheels. You get the badge on the front there, a little bit of light detail. I like what they've done there with the back end. That's really nice. So yeah, back on the McLarens. I'm trying to think, there's a car. Oh, is it the Vulcan? Who makes that? Is it Aston Martin? I can't get a Vulcan for love nor money, and I know there's 2 or 3 out there. Yeah, they look a bit curious, they look a bit garish, but I think I'd like to find one just to see what they're all about. But yeah, the Vulcan, I'm sure, is it the Aston Martin? Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Back to the Porsche. Dyson Vision. Ooh. Porsche Spider. Like this one. I don't think I'd change anything about this. It's an honest piece. It's a nice piece. And nothing more to be said about that. Hot Wheels boys, I hope this is fulfilling your mandate or your idea of what exotics are. If it isn't, I'm sure somebody's going to tell me off, but in my head, this is what I think of. So we know this one as well. This is my only casting of this. I didn't know what this was. I was going to call it a panini. What is it? Panini being some Italian bread. Pagani Huayra. I've since found out Pagani are an hand-built Italian company. So that means it'll be overpriced to start with. It's the only casting I've got. I've heard it said on people like Tune Tracks Racing. Chris and Jason, they love them. They love their exotics anyway. But yeah, Pagani Huayra. Oh God, you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I like that. But it's the only piece I've got in that. But that to me is an exotic. We're talking old time 60s and 70s exotic now. Matchbox, Lotus Europa. You used to see these bombing all over the streets of England back in the 70s. Rear engine cars, most of the Lotus tend to be. I've actually sat in one of these and I said to my mate who's got it, I said, where's your stereo? He says, hang on a minute. And he revved it up. And I just laughed and I went, yeah, where's your stereo? He says, you're listening to it, so. You don't have radios in Lotus Europas for 2 reasons. 1, the engine notes, and 2, even if you had a stereo, you couldn't hear it because of the engine notes. So that made me smile, and it's always stuck with me, that. Usually have a little bit of glass in the cabin where you can just part it and you can hear the engine even clearer. Maybe fun for a while, but if you got a migraine, oof, my word, I'm not sure. But anyway, so we'll finish with another British classic. And we're talking one of the first supercars really in my country. The E-Type Jag. Look at them classic lady lines. She is curvy, she is sexy, she's iconic. She's known the world over, and these go for crazy prices. Restorer's dream. I think there's still parts readily available, and if not, there's a couple of companies that got a patent for banging them out reasonable. And so we'll do our usual finale of, well, standing the case up so you can see it a bit better with hopefully. I know this is going to go over one day. Keep watching for giggles. Tilt down. And there we go. Hot Wheels boys, this one's for you. I hope this fulfills your mandate. That's 24 exotic cars of my choosing. I hope you like this. Please check out the Hot Wheels boys. Coming soon will be a case. Again, I've had a request. I wasn't really sorting them out by models, just nations and styles, but my good friend who you've heard me mention a couple of times, Adi Pra from Indonesia, if he comes calling, he's a good young fellow up and coming, and he's so gracious and so nice a person. And me and him, we talk all the time about customs and all that sort of thing, the good stuff. But Adi Pra wants to do, like he calls it, a collaboration, whereby he showed, I think it was 5 Dodges the other day. He's obviously got a liking for the Dodge. And he's asked, will I do a Plano case of Dodge? So I've got to go digging. I will do it because Adi Pra's a friend and a good contributor to my channel. So if you can, check out adipra.com. Very gently spoken guy, and he does some great projects and some great showings. And he replies in good English, so don't fear, worrying, I won't understand him. I don't just want to keep putting a smiley face and going saying thanks. He's good. He's very good. So coming soon will be a whole case of Dodgers, and as usual, I don't know whether I've got enough, but we will see. So anyway, Hot Wheels boys, New Zealand, check them out. Please do. Lovely people, and this is their case of exotic. Everybody, I'm off for my tea. Yum yum. I shall see you later. Take care. Goodbye.